In the school business itself, there are enough segments. Okay, now which segment you aim at and what solution you go with and how well you run it will determine success or failure. You go with the wrong solution to a wrong segment, you will have a failure. And therefore, each section has its own rule of the game. See, the first thing is, schools is very much a long-term game. So any of you wanting to get into schools has to be very careful because the investment in land and building is very high. So when you're looking at a school business, remember that where you open the school will determine by the level of pocket, the investment you have. The next thing is that schools are severe cash guzzlers. A very successful school in the very first year loses 3 crores comfortably because children come about 150 to 200 in the first year, the buses remain the same, the teachers remain the same, the classrooms remain the same. So if you're getting into school business, be prepared for 5 years till you look at a surplus which you can plow back into the business. So get into schools only if you look at a level of investment where you want to open, and then you have to wait for 5 years. There are no immediate returns. It's a cash guzzler, big cash guzzler. So deep pockets are required for school business, whether it's franchise or your own school, because the land and building always belongs to you. Secondly, in the education business, especially in schools, be very, very value-driven. Don't make shortcuts. Don't compromise on transport, child safety, teacher quality, if you can get good teachers. Because value sells in schools, long-term value. You start cutting corners, start offering lower than what you can, the school will never take off. Now, if you are into looking for a franchise operation, then a good brand really helps. You know, like a brand like Birla or Billabong or whatever the names you're seeing, a brand really helps you sell. But the formula which I can share with you is, if you're into metro and tier 1 towns, it's good to go with a brand. In that competitive market, your own brand may not take off. If you're going into tier 2 and tier 3 towns, the smaller towns, you can still open your own brand. It's easier to do it. So this is the brand equation which I have figured out, because in smaller towns, a lesser brand can sell much easier because bigger brands don't enter there. You have bigger chances of success. See, the main thing to understand is, supposing, let's say, you are getting into franchising and you're getting the B2C route, which is what is called retail franchising. You pick up a retail vocational training business and you get into the franchise. Then the important thing is that it has to be backed by a very big brand. Don't just pick up any Tom, Dick and Harry operation and launch its franchise. You will not get the footfalls, you will not get the customers, you will not get the volumes, and you will soon fall short of cash, and you may go for a closure. A big brand helps you pull the footfalls in, and the big brand helps you then get the business going. If you want to get into vocational training as a business, you should take the B2G or a B2B route. B2G means the government has funds for training. Ministry of Rural Development, Social Justice, Tribal Welfare, Northeast Development, they have tremendous funds. I worked for all these ministries. Social Justice, I worked in Northeast. Here, if you have the connects, and you have some kind of a training set up behind you, and you have the connects in the government, it's possible to get hold of funds, because then the business is assured. But you require deep government connects here. It's not easy. Or a B2B2C model, where what happens is, the industry's ability to take people that you train is semi-assured, not totally assured, semi-assured. So the industry may be persuaded to partner with you in terms of spending some money for training those people, so you get some income from there, maybe giving you a room or a training area which you can use, and you can do some revenue sharing over there, and maybe electricity or a classroom or whatever. That's possible to tie up. What you got to do now is to go to the engineering colleges and say, okay, give me your engineers. Once they come out, I'll train them in this industry-sponsored training area, and I will then place them in the industry. Some part the industry will pay me, and some part maybe the university or the students will pay, you collect for me. That becomes a viable model, because then what is happening is, you are actually getting people from an assured resource called engineering college. You are placing them in the industry, which is assured to take them, and you may get revenue from both ways. That B2B to C model I have seen working very well, especially with the BPO industry in India. The trick here will be to figure out which you can't train in everything which every company requires in Faridabad. You can't do that. You got to figure out the top 3 areas. Is it communication? It is working on a lathe machine? Is it figuring out how to read an ESI card in HR? The top 3 areas, you need volumes. So you'll have to focus your business on those top 3 areas, work out this entire mechanism, and there if you get a brand which franchises and knows these areas, maybe you can, get a pull factor open. So this is one kind of model which can work in vocational education.